It seems the king actually dated quite a few of them when they were young teenagers. Elvis Presley's obsession with 14-year-olds raises questions about him really being a devil in disguise.
Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, a global icon, and one of the most famous figures in history. But what if his story isn't complete? Michael Presley has come forward with a shocking claim. He says he's Elvis's long-lost son.
I was around my father from 1974 to 77, directly involved with my father. This is the complete report here, DNA paternity test certificate. The probability of paternity is 99.9996%. It is practically proven.
With DNA tests, mysterious documents, and ties to the Presley family, could this change everything we thought we knew about the king? Or is it just another twist in an already legendary life? A mysterious connection. Michael Presley spent his life surrounded by whispers and constantly questioning, "Who is my father?" For him, this question was more than just a passing thought. It was a mystery. Now he's come forward with a shocking claim. He is the son of Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll. Is he? Michael grew up in what many would call a regular life, though regular is a bit of a stretch when you have a mom who worked in the entertainment world. According to Michael, she had charisma, connections, and a past linked with Elvis himself. From a young age, Michael felt there was more to his story. He recalls moments when his mother seemed guarded, almost like she was hiding something precious. And she was. For years, she avoided answering his questions about his father. When she finally did, it was in a cryptic, almost unreal way. But he was just a kid then, too young to demand answers. His mother, wanting to shield him from the chaos of Elvis's fame, kept the truth hidden. Michael says she left him with the impression that his father was an entertainer, and that was that. No elaboration, no big reveal. Years later, as a teenager in high school, Michael's curiosity boiled over. He started asking more questions. This time, his mom pointed him toward his aunts. "If you want to know so badly," she said, "go talk to them." And boy, they spilt the tea, but not without a bit of drama. One aunt laughed outright, saying, "Oh, your father? Where do we even begin?" Another aunt chimed in with a sarcastic quip about Michael's mom having been married multiple times, which wasn't even true. Typical family, Michael thought. But through the teasing, they confirmed what he suspected. His father was Elvis Presley. Can you imagine being told that over dinner? But here's where it gets interesting. Michael didn't grow up with Elvis. He wasn't raised in Graceland, surrounded by gold records and screaming fans. Yet, according to him, Elvis eventually made his presence known.
Were you there, or is this...
I was around my father from 1974 to 77, directly involved with my father.
Michael claims that in the mid-1970s, he got to spend time with the king himself. These weren't just random meetups either. He says Elvis even used him as a decoy to throw paparazzi off his trail. Michael describes these moments as surreal, yet grounding. He remembers Elvis as warm, funny, and larger than life, yet somehow down to earth in private. "He gave me what I needed," Michael says, "his love and approval." While some may raise an eyebrow at this claim, Michael insists their bond was genuine, even if the world never saw it. But how does one keep such a massive part of their identity a secret? For Michael, the answer lay in his respect for his mother's wishes. She believed revealing the truth too soon would bring chaos into his life, a life she worked hard to make stable. Michael honored that. But now, he's stepping forward with what he says is undeniable evidence: a birth certificate, court documents, and even a DNA test with a 99.999% probability of paternity. The twist? He says the king knew about him, accepted him, and even passed down a personal keepsake, a ring with a ram's head design, a match to one Elvis himself wore. For Michael, this ring isn't just a piece of jewelry. It's a symbol of connection, proof that he belonged to the Presley legacy, even if the world didn't know it yet. So here's the big question. How do you prove something this monumental when your supposed father is a global icon and the story sounds too wild to be true? Is Michael's evidence enough? Or is this just another case of someone chasing the spotlight? And speaking of evidence, Michael claims he has more, like DNA tests and official documents. But is that enough to convince skeptics? The shocking proof of Elvis's heir. When it comes to bold claims like being Elvis Presley's son, evidence isn't just helpful, it's essential. And Michael Presley isn't shy about presenting his case. He says he has the goods: DNA test results, a birth certificate, court certifications, and even a ring tied to Elvis himself. But does it all add up?
It reads as follows. Probability of paternity, 99.999%.
So
Okay,
you're one little one off.
that's right. And everybody is.
Of course they all are. Wonder what that
The
one is.
alleged father is not excluded as the biological father of the tested child.
First, there's the DNA test. Michael says he took not one but a triple sample DNA test, which showed a jaw-dropping 99.999% probability of paternity. If DNA could talk, it would scream, "Elvis is your daddy." But here's the twist. This test wasn't done through Graceland or anyone officially connected to the Presley estate. It's private, raising questions about who conducted the test and its reliability. Still, a number like that isn't easy to ignore. You almost want to imagine Elvis raising an eyebrow from the beyond, saying, "Well, it does look like me." Then there's the birth certificate. According to Michael, his mother listed an alias for his father to protect his identity, a move that sounds both sneaky and heartbreaking. Over the years, court certifications were allegedly filed to confirm his claim, and Michael says he's got the paperwork to prove it. While no official Presley family members have publicly validated these documents, Michael insists they're rock solid. Imagine holding a piece of paper that ties you to one of the most famous men in history. It's part treasure map, part personal truth. And now, let's talk about the ring. Elvis is known for his flashy jewelry, and Michael claims he has one piece that ties him directly to the king. This isn't just any ring, it's a ram's head design, matching one that Elvis wore himself. According to Michael, Elvis personally gave this ring to his mother during a visit in the 1970s, instructing her to pass it on to Michael when the time was right. Sure, it's a romantic gesture, but is it enough to cement the claim? Jewelry doesn't come with DNA after all.
A lot of people are out there saying, well, he would never have married Ginger. Listen,
Well,
my
we
father,
can't say that.
Well, no, and my father would have married her, and people will say, well, how do you know this? And I'll say, well, first of all, my father told me that he loved her. Secondly, my father gave to her the most valuable gem in his entire collection. The main diamond out of his TCB ring was given to Ginger as an engagement ring.
Oh, how beautiful.
He'd never done that for
Isn't
any
that
other woman.
beautiful? No.
And he mentioned her in those last concerts. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to my girlfriend, fiance, Miss Ginger Alden.
Now let's zoom out for a second. We know Elvis had a larger-than-life persona, but also a deeply private side. His relationships, personal life, and even his vulnerabilities were often hidden. Could this secrecy explain why Michael's claim hasn't been widely acknowledged? Or is it just another case of someone trying to latch onto a famous name? To be fair, Michael isn't the first person to claim ties to Elvis. Over the years, others have stepped forward with similar stories, but none have been confirmed. The Presley estate, which guards Elvis's legacy fiercely, has always remained tight-lipped on these matters. And honestly, you can't blame them. Imagine the chaos if they entertained every claim. So where does that leave us? On the one hand, Michael's evidence seems compelling. DNA tests, documents, and personal mementos are no small things. On the other hand, it's hard to draw a definitive conclusion without independent verification or official recognition. Is this the ultimate proof of Michael's connection to Elvis, or just another layer in the King's complex legacy? Now, let's look into Elvis's life, his relationships, his controversies, and the side of him that might hold the key to understanding this story. Could the King's love life be the missing puzzle piece? Elvis's dark secrets and affairs. From his marriage to Priscilla to whispers of numerous affairs, Elvis's relationships often made headlines, and not always in the way his fans would hope. Let's start with Priscilla Presley, the woman Elvis officially called his wife. Their love story began when Priscilla was just 14, and Elvis, 24, met her while stationed in Germany during his military service. Despite their significant age gap, their relationship blossomed under the watchful eyes of Priscilla's strict parents. Elvis reportedly took his time before committing to her romantically, allegedly wanting to preserve her innocence. They married in 1967, but their union was complicated, as in Elvis's life. Rumors surrounded that Elvis had been pressured into marriage, and even during their honeymoon phase, cracks in their relationship began to show. The arrival of their daughter, Lisa Marie, in 1968 should have brought the couple closer, but instead, it marked the beginning of the end. According to insiders, Elvis's interest in Priscilla waned after her pregnancy. He reportedly struggled to see her the same way, and their marriage began to crumble. By 1973, the couple divorced, leaving Priscilla to raise Lisa Marie, while Elvis's personal life became even more unpredictable. Elvis's love life was anything but conventional. It's no secret that he was surrounded by adoring fans, many of whom he charmed effortlessly. Some accounts describe Elvis as having a preference for younger women, a detail that has sparked both fascination and discomfort over the years. Stories have surfaced about his relationships with teenage girls, including pajama parties and grooming sessions where he'd teach them how to apply makeup. One former Entourage member, Lamar Fike, admitted, "It scared the hell out of all of us." Whether these stories are exaggerated or true, they add another layer to Elvis's story. Even Hollywood wasn't immune to Elvis's allure. Over the years, he was linked to famous actresses like Natalie Wood and Sybil Shepherd. However, not all of these encounters ended with glowing reviews. Natalie Wood stormed out of his bedroom after just 20 minutes, saying he wasn't the passionate man she'd imagined. Similarly, Sybil Shepherd described him as sweet but underwhelming. Some blamed his struggles with medication, while others chalked it up to the immense pressure he faced in maintaining his image. One of Elvis's more controversial relationships was with Ginger Alden, his last fiancée. Ginger met Elvis when she was just a child through her father's connections, but their romance began when she was 20 and Elvis was 41. Their relationship had moments of romance, but it was also loud. Stories of Elvis's controlling behavior have surfaced, including an incident where he allegedly fired a gun over her car during an argument. Another time, he reportedly let the air out of her tires to prevent her from leaving Graceland. Despite the drama, Elvis gave Ginger a diamond from his iconic ring as a symbol of their engagement, a gesture that showed how deeply he cared for her, even if their love story was far from perfect. Elvis's fame also significantly influenced his relationships. Being constantly in the public eye meant that privacy was a luxury he rarely had. Women threw themselves at him, literally, during concerts, and his Memphis Mafia entourage ensured there was always someone to keep him company. But this lifestyle came at a cost. Elvis often struggled to form genuine connections, as many people were drawn to the idea of Elvis the superstar rather than the man himself. These complexities in Elvis's personal life paint a picture of a man who, despite his fame, battled loneliness and insecurity. It's easy to see why someone like Michael Presley's claims could fit into this narrative. A man with such a vast and chaotic personal life could have had undisclosed relationships, or even children. But does Elvis's controversial lifestyle lend credibility to Michael's story, or is it just another layer of mystery surrounding the king? Presley family's silent suspense. Whenever someone steps forward claiming to be a long-lost child of a global icon, the reactions are bound to be a mixed bag. And when that icon is Elvis Presley, the stakes are sky high. Michael Presley's assertion that he is the king's biological son has stirred emotions, skepticism, and plenty of side-eye glances from both the Presley family and fans alike. Let's start with the Presley family. Surprisingly, or maybe not, the estate has been silent on Michael's claims. Graceland, the iconic Presley headquarters, hasn't issued an official statement. No fiery denials, no open arms either. Priscilla Presley, Elvis's ex-wife, and Lisa Marie Presley, his only officially recognized child until her recent passing, have never publicly addressed Michael's story. Their silence leaves the door open just a crack, enough to make you wonder, Are they ignoring it because it's too absurd, or because there might be a sliver of truth? But let's be honest, silence can sometimes be louder than words. The Presley estate has faced similar claims in the past. Over the years, others have come forward saying they're secret offspring of Elvis. One man, Elvante Hemphill, even claimed to have DNA evidence linking him to the king, but it failed to hold up under scrutiny. Another claimant, Desiree Presley, alleged a connection to Elvis, but was dismissed as simply riding the coattails of fame. History hasn't been kind to these stories, and Michael's claim might seem like the latest in many hopefuls. Now, what about the fans? This is where things get spicy. Elvis fans are famously protective of their idol's legacy. Some are intrigued by Michael's claims and eager to believe that Elvis left behind more than just his music. After all, wouldn't the existence of another Presley add a new chapter to the king's story? Others, however, are downright skeptical. For them, Michael's story raises too many questions. Why now? Why hasn't the estate confirmed anything? And most importantly, why does this keep happening? Skeptics are quick to point out that Elvis's life was under the microscope for decades. Could he really have kept a child hidden? The king was known for his larger-than-life persona, but even his most private moments seemed to leak into the tabloids. Some argue that a secret child would have been uncovered long ago. Others wonder if it's just wishful thinking, an attempt to attach oneself to Elvis's immortal legacy. And let's not forget Graceland, Elvis's famed estate. Michael's claims have implications far beyond family dinner table drama. Graceland is not just a home, it's a shrine, a tourist hotspot, and a cornerstone of Elvis's enduring legacy. If Michael's story is proven true, it could reshape how fans view the Presley name. Would a new Presley heir mean new dynamics for the estate? Would Graceland's sacred aura be affected? These questions linger in the minds of both die-hard fans and casual observers. Yet, for all the skepticism, Michael's story has its share of believers. Some fans see his DNA evidence as compelling. Others point to Elvis's well-documented romantic escapades and argue that Michael's existence isn't entirely implausible. After all, the king's personal life was as complicated as his glittery jumpsuits, and secrets aren't unheard of in celebrity families. Could Michael be the missing piece to Elvis's puzzle? Or is he simply another fan with a wild story, a hidden heir to Elvis's empire? Elvis Presley isn't just a name, he's an icon, a cultural phenomenon, and a lasting symbol of music history. His legacy has outlived him, drawing millions to Graceland every year and captivating new generations with his music, movies, and mystique. However, Michael Presley's claims might add a new twist to that legacy. Could this revelation rewrite how we view the king? If Michael's story is true, it would certainly shake things up. The Presley family has always been small and tightly knit, centered around Lisa Marie as Elvis's sole recognized child. Introducing Michael into this narrative would expand the Presley tree in ways fans have never imagined. It could change the personal side of Elvis's legacy, shifting him from being a devoted father of one to a man with a hidden chapter in his family story. And for fans, this isn't a small adjustment. It's like discovering a bonus track on a classic album you thought you knew by heart. Then there's Graceland, the heart of Elvis's legacy. Graceland isn't just a museum, it's a pilgrimage site for Elvis enthusiasts around the world. It represents everything about Elvis, his rise from poverty, his success, and even his struggles. If Michael's claims are substantiated, it might raise questions about how Graceland reflects Elvis's life. Would his story need to be retold? Would exhibits need to include Michael's role in his life? Or would Graceland's image as a controlled and polished version of Elvis's history remain untouched? These are big questions with no easy answers. Financially, the implications could be as significant. The Presley estate is a well-oiled machine, generating millions annually from Graceland tours, licensing deals, and merchandise. If Michael's claims were validated, it might lead to legal questions about inheritance and control over the Presley name. Would Michael be entitled to a share of the estate? Would the brand need to accommodate a new face in its tightly managed operation? These aren't just theoretical concerns, they're the kind of issues that could keep estate managers up at night. But let's not forget the fans. Elvis's legacy is deeply personal for many people. He's more than a musician. He's a symbol of triumph, resilience, and charisma. For some fans, Michael's claims might feel like an exciting addition to the story they love. For others, it could feel like a disruption, even a challenge to the image of Elvis they hold dear. How will the fan base react if this story gains traction? Will they embrace Michael as part of Elvis's history? Or will they resist the idea of altering a narrative that has been cemented for decades? And why now? Michael's timing is worth exploring. Some might argue that it's a grab for attention, but others see it differently. With Lisa Marie Presley's passing and the Presley brand's constant evolution, perhaps now feels like the right moment for Michael to step forward. Culturally, we're in a time when revisiting legendary figures' lives has become a trend. From movies like Elvis to documentaries exploring his relationships, the public's appetite for more details about the king seems insatiable. Michael's story fits neatly into this renewed fascination. So, what do you think? Is Michael Presley really Elvis's hidden son, or just another twist in the king's story? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe, and stick around for more fascinating stories. Thanks for watching.